this first half.
So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Hart, he'll rifle this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hart.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
To throw on second down. Hart. This is caught. It's Hardy. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Looking to throw. Hart. Touchdown, Colts. Jelani Woods. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. Make this a 4-point game. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Chubb running right. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 115 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And again, it's Chubb. Taken down at the 47-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Brady. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And they'll lead the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Brady to throw. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw taken in by Evans here.
And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Again, they'll throw with Brady. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Colts are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You've got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
On 1st and 10, Hart. And he fires one incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 36. On the counter, it's Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 104th career touchdown. One shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Colts will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. The Browns drive about to get started. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense in that quarter.
Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, and have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Throwing to start the drive. Hart. Touchdown! Michael Pittman, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Colts get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. And oh, it's blocked. The Browns have it. But he doesn't get it much further, taken down on the other side of the 50. Looked good for a second there, but it turns out just to be a missed extra point.
We have seen some exciting returns of blocked extra points. This one doesn't quite get into that level, but it had to be an anxious moment after it was blocked, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think sometimes they still forget on both sides when that block comes on a PAT that you can return it for 2. He got it across midfield there, just not close to the end zone.
Yeah, you noted that moment of hesitancy, didn't you? You know, it's blocked. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. It can be returned, and which means you have to get back and tackle him, too.
The Browns drive about to get started. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Brady. He's going to float this one deep right side. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Over the middle, into the hands of Woods. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll even avoid the contact in the end as he will finally slide to a hole. A big pickup of 38.
Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed.
On first down, Hart. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. Touchdown, Colts. Michael Pittman with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is now 24. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. Running room at the 50. Look out. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a second and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Davis, 43 yards. And the Browns are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So take away the touchdown there as that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. On play action, it's Brady. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now Brady got to have this one. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Here's Schwartz bringing it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Browns drive about to get started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things through this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something.
And, my goodness, another interception.
And the Colts are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
Oh, into a sea of defenders have intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
The option to give to Taylor here.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Hart. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at about the 14. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brady, he's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.